Welcome to the Caffeine Canines podcast, episode 5. And we've got my close personal friend and squash partner, Jack Harrison. Jack, how's it going? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Played yesterday?
Yeah, I've had a game, played Aston Villa yesterday.
Aston Villa at home or away?
It was away.
And you were back late last night. You texted me late last night.
Yeah, well, we travelled back late after the game, so I've probably got back about 1:30, 2-ish, and then it's always tough getting to sleep after night games and stuff.
Do you
So.
take like caffeine products?
Yeah, before the game.
Before the game?
Yeah, I have a double espresso.
Just absolutely.
Just like wired.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it's hard to calm down.
You
and
just
stuff.
like replaying the game over in your head.
Yeah, that's the
what you
thing.
could have done better.
Yeah, I mean, I had a big chance in the first half yesterday in the game, and it's like, well, I was thinking if I could have done something
this
this,
and
or if
done
I'd done
this.
that, and it's always tough. But
I used to play rugby, and I'd be the same. Just at any evening match, anything past 7 o'clock, just I wouldn't get to sleep till 3, 4 in the morning. It was awful. I can't imagine. And like all the stimulation and the lights and.
Yeah,
what's the atmosphere like at Aston Villa?
Really good, really good.
Yeah.
They always have a good following. They have a really good fan base, and it's a tough place to go and play.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult place to go, but I thought in the first half we did pretty well. We were quite dominant at their place, which is not very common.
Yeah. What was the final score?
It was 2-1 in the end.
Okay.
Patrick Bamford came back and scored his 100th goal, which was nice. Good for him.
That's
but
good. He seems to be a bit of a fan favourite, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a fan favourite for sure. You can ask anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice to have him back. It's just I wish we'd have got the goal back a bit sooner. I think because then we would have been in the game a bit earlier on, and I think we might have been able to get the second and if not the third. So
yeah.
It's always easy going back now and saying it, but I think if we'd have got a goal in the first half, it would have been a completely different game. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, who's your next game?
So we've got Cardiff in the Cup on
That's where I'm from.
Wednesday. I know. We travelled down there.
How is it?
It was really nice flying
Cardiff
into
City Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place
down?
to go. Yeah, we flew down.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got to see all the coastline. Well, what's that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The bay.
The bay,
called,
the area there. Some nice houses. So
Yeah.
Nice
It's not going to sign for them. Where are they, in Championship?
Yeah,
or?
Championship.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
Nah. And did you have a chance to explore Cardiff at all, or is it kind of like play?
No, well, we go the night before. We stay over in a hotel.
Yeah. Which hotel did you stay at?
Can't remember to be honest.
What hotels are you normally in? Like fancy ones?
Depends really. I don't know if it's not like super fancy, but
yeah. All right, fair enough. It's not a weekend away with the Mrs. Fancy. It's
to be fair, it was some like spa place. I think it's where the Welsh national team train and play when they do
the Vale.
Yeah, the Vale. It was nice. It was nice, actually.
That is quite nice there.
Yeah, it was nice. It had. I mean, we went for a walk around and got to see the golf course and
stuff.
It was nice.
Not the Celtic Manor, no.
No, it was the Vale.
The Vale.
Yeah.
Okay, it's quite. I think the Welsh national rugby team train there.
They
as
train
well.
there as well. Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, that's good. Did anyone? And you weren't like walking around or anything there. Like, did anyone recognise?
No, I mean, when we travel, we always get there's some like people that like to get autographs and they collectors and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's some of those people around the hotel, but no, I mean in the morning we just went for a walk around like the golf course and stuff and did some activation and it looked nice.
Oh, very good, very good. Right, we'll talk about dogs. We'll talk about Amira, your dog. The reason I guess you're here and you've trained with us in the past, and I'm going to tell a story that I tell everyone that asks about you. And that is the time I showed up to this big, ridiculous house and this young lad opened the door with a crazy malinois on the end of the lead. And we in Kirky, not being football fans, again, not following the game.
We're like, for everyone.
I wonder what this guy... I'm a big football fan now, by the way, just so you know. I'm a big Leeds fan. I've got a shirt, so...
Yeah,
you know.
big deal.
The first game of football I ever watched, actually, was... properly the last game of the season last year that you scored.
The Brentford game.
Yeah. With your dog next to me on the sofa. So Kirky and I rock up to this house and we're like, who the f lives here? And we're like seeing the just the it's obviously a really, really nice house you're in. And
Thank you.
I remember about 45 minutes in asking, like, right, what do you do, Jack? You got to tell us. And you were like, oh, I play football. And we were both like, oh, okay, who for? And you're like, Leeds. And I was like, first team or what? I don't know how it works. You're like, yeah. And then I went away and obviously did a bit of Googling and I was like, what a dickhead. What an absolute knob.
No, it's
and
funny.
then, so, but the other point I mention is always that you were very humble about it. And you're a very humble guy. And most people, well, all people that ask about you say the same thing. So that's good. You're held in high regard with the people of Leeds. That's nice. And they don't want you to go anywhere, by the sounds of things. But we won't talk about that either. So, Amira, tell us the story of how you acquired Amira. Where you got her and the situation there. Obviously, I'm aware of how it come about, but
yeah,
I'm sure people
I mean,
would like to know.
it's a bit complicated because my girlfriend is from Costa Rica and she
Yeah.
spends a lot of time there, and working on a visa at the minute to get her more permanently here in the country. But at that time, she was spending a lot of time in Costa Rica, and so she wanted a dog.
Yeah.
And she'd fallen in love with these Belgian malinois.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures.
These Belgian melon flutes that are knocking about. These ones in the movies.
So, I mean, she'd done like a little bit of research and was like, yeah, I'd like to get one. I said, look, like, I know what you're like.
Was she in Costa Rica at the time?
Yeah, she was in Costa Rica.
And you were here in Manchester or Leeds?
Yeah, Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I said, look, like, I know how hard it is, like, to manage a dog and stuff, and that's the reason why I hadn't got one in the past, is because when I'm training every day and, you know, traveling, it's hard to manage a dog, and you need to put in the work and the hours to, you know, train it and all these things. So I love dogs, but that's the one reason that I never got one, because I thought it'd just be cruel. So but with having her around, she was like, yeah, well, I was like, I know what you like. She just liked the puppy phase, and then that's kind of it. So, but she had one of her friends that was breeding the Belgian malinois, and she'd like gone to see them, and you know, he'd seen how much she liked them and stuff, and he said, look, just take this one for a couple of days.
Oh, game over.
And, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know what he was playing at. Like, he said, take this one for a couple of days.
Just try that one out, see how she goes.
If you don't like it, then you can give it back. Yeah, of course. It's a puppy. Of course, they're not going to give it back. She's like, yeah, I love it. So in the end, I said, all right, like, we can get her. But, you know, you need to put in the work and stuff like that. And to be fair to her at the start, like, she took really good care of her in Costa Rica, took us to some training there and stuff. And she was super obedient, super well behaved. But she'd done some protection training as well, and I think it kind of
crossed over.
Crossed over a little bit too much, maybe a little bit overprotective, especially with her as well.
Gotcha.
So when it came to like meeting new people, it was quite difficult. And so when we eventually brought her back here, that's when I had the issue of, you know, whenever people come around the house, she'd just be really dominant, really barking, barking a lot, and it was just making people uncomfortable. And obviously me, I've you know, done the research and seen the videos. Everyone's seen videos of Belgian Malinois online and seen what they can do, and so I was like scared of something happening. So then that puts me in a state where, you know, the dog's feeding off my energy as well. So that's why I needed a little bit of guidance just to deal with these types of dogs. And I remember you saying when we first met that this is, you know, like the Ferrari of dogs that you can get, and you really need to like stay on top of it.
Or the Bentley Continental GT.
So
exactly.
That's why I reached out to you guys, and go from there.
It's been a pleasure. She's the staff favourite, that dog, so we're all very happy to see her. Everyone wants to get their hands on their frisbee and out playing with her and stuff like that. So it's been good. It's been really good working with her. I obviously I met Amira before I got Stark. Yeah. I've had a few on residential before, but she's probably one of the drivier ones I've had. Yeah. In the past, and even one-to-one sessions. She's got a lot of tenacity about her. Yeah. Which is the best and simultaneously worst thing about her, I guess, because if that comes through in both behaviours we do want and then behaviours we don't want. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that after that Brentford game that you played, and we met up in Harrogate for me to just give the dog back to you, and I remember just every other person that day, like one bloke stopped traffic and got out of his car, didn't he, just to get a photo with you. And Amira was doing great, and we got to like the 15th person, and she was like, "Fuck!" this. You can fuck off. You can fuck off. We're going home. And it was just like the attitude
Just
of the
barking
dog.
at people,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Yeah.
but that's,
Um,
I mean, that's something that, I wanted to work on, and
Yeah.
what we have been working on. And
Yeah.
I feel like she's gotten better as well. I
Yeah,
think we're
yeah,
trying to
sure.
expose her to
It's just
that
it's
kind of
difficult with your
situations and-
schedule to get her outside of that. Like obviously where you live, you've got enough space that if you really wanted to, you wouldn't really have to leave the house.
No,
Because you could just play with her in the garden. Like
Yeah.
you could have a little swim in your swimming pool and fuck around in your gym, and then spend the afternoon in your bar, and then your chef. She could chew on some of your limited edition Air Jordan, something like that. You know, life of Riley, that dog. So it's difficult to get her out with your schedule and that I suppose luxury you have of having all the space in the world. Because I don't leave here often with my own dogs because I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need
You know, they're exercised here.
Yeah.
We've got loads of all the space. So I suppose that's a difficulty managing that along with your. And maybe when Theo's here more, that'll take a bit of pressure off you because if, you're like, you're on your tub there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because your family aren't from here. Where your family? Bolton?
Yeah, Bolton. So most of them live there, but yeah, like you said, I'm mostly by myself. So I mean, it's kind of the beauty of it, really. I do a lot of the training, as much as I can, really, of what you taught me and stuff, what we did at the beginning. I try to continue that as much as I can because I know it's good for her and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You see when I've got the not the sleeve, but the
the
you hold
wedge.
it and she just
Loves
going at it. She loves that.
Yeah.
And the frisbee as well, like you said, she loves the frisbee. But,
Yeah.
I don't just trying to be active with her because I think it's also part of like a healthy lifestyle for the
Of course.
dog as well.
Yeah. Fulfillment.
Yeah,
It's kind of what she
getting
needs.
that exercise.
Like I said to you before, it'd be like you not being able to kick a ball around.
Yeah, exactly. Just go crazy.
You know, God forbid you got injured and weren't playing for a.
Yeah, touch wood.
Yeah. Sorry. For a couple of months, you'd go stir crazy. You'd feel pent up. So I suppose that element of fulfillment for that breed of dog is paramount importance. Right, I'm going to show you this picture that we're going to get up, and then it's going to lead me on to my next question. Nah, it's not. So I'll show Jack, and then we'll pop it up on the screen as you see it. So. It's not. So I want you to tell us about your first dog and how you actually first got into dog training.
That was Fudge.
Because if I saw this and I thought, when we first started training with you and Amira, like, oh, this guy, he's got a bit of a knack. Yeah. And then I saw that and I was like, he's had the wool over my eyes. He's been doing it since he was a whippersnapper.
No.
So. Who was that dog? Tell us about your first. Is he your first dog?
Probably like the one that I've had to deal with. Yeah, it was a girl. It was a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
She was called Fudge.
All right. Yeah.
My mum had gotten it through a previous partner that she had, and when they split, she just ended up staying with us. And same thing with my mum. It's a little bit easier to manage than a malinois, but same thing. Sometimes I get home from school and I'd have to take her out for a walk sometimes, and and then just kind of take care of her a little bit like that. And then that picture in particular, me and my mum, we went for a walk. It was in the summer. I think it was before I went to the US actually.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, she liked playing with balls and all that stuff, and tried to teach her paw.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that picture is there. But I mean, I was just doing it kind of like off of instinct. I didn't know anything about training dogs or looking after dogs and all these things.
I think one thing that is very obvious when you see you and Amira, like you love that dog, like you adore that dog.
Yeah.
Like probably in the top 5% that I've seen owners love a dog, which is great. Have you always had an affinity for dogs, or is that something that's developed as Amira's come around? Or
I think I've always had a love for dogs. I've always loved dogs. Even seeing some friends' dogs or something like that, I'll always pet them or give them attention and stuff. But I don't know what it is about Amira. I think since she came back and I had to really take care of her and understand more about how, like, why she thinks the way she thinks and how to train her and control her and just putting more time and effort in. And I think it's like rewarding when you see her like behaving well and stuff. And I don't know, that love and affection kind of builds and builds. And It's funny, like I always used to hate like when dogs lick people or
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, no, I hate it. But with Amira, I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
Amira, it's
Come
just
on,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Theo tells me all the time. She's like, "Oh, you always give that dog
Yeah,
too much
yeah,
love."
yeah.
I was like, "It's a dog. Like, it's
Who-
what it's here for, you know." Like,
Who's your number one girl, Amira or Theo?
well, it's
Yeah,
tough right now. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. But it's just me and Amira right now. So
yeah.
Theo's away in Costa Rica, so
I
she's my
suppose
number one right now.
there's a bit of a I suppose there's a bit of a maybe a misconception that obviously you Premier League footballers don't have much responsibility because a lot of your I suppose having the support that you have from the club around you and the finances you have and stuff like that allows things away from football to be like hunky dory. Amira coming along and adding a different level of responsibility. Do you think that's had any? What sort of impact has that had on your life and your career? I'm not saying arguing that you don't have responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm asking, has that helped you? Has that matured you? Because I know when I first got my dogs,
Yeah.
my dogs as an adult, I was like, oh shit, like they will die if I don't sort my shit out, right?
Yeah. No.
So
For sure.
it matures you.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you found that the same.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. I think it definitely matures you. I think you, like I said before, you learn about things that you didn't know before that you have to take care of, and
Yeah.
you have to do certain things in order for the dog to be a certain way. So, like, I treat her like my child, you know,
Yeah.
like I give her a lot of love and affection, and discipline when it's necessary, and then training and exercise, and
Yeah.
it all ties in together as like a mini human being for me. And
Yeah.
I know it's not the same, and
Yeah.
but I think on a certain level, like you have, your principles and your some things that are quite the same, like the responsibility side of things. And like you said, I think it definitely matures you. It helps you to think about other things than just yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that's I don't know, the beauty that I've had with Amira is learning about that stuff, and also trying to manage and take care of everything else, and make sure that I'm on top of my game and my performance, and
Yeah.
doing everything that I need to when it comes to my job, but then when I
Yeah.
get home, taking care of that responsibility as well, and that comes with being an adult as well. So
Yeah. I found it the same. I think. Yeah. And even your mate Leo, who also trains the dog, he's such a young guy.
yeah,
He's
it's so
only
young.
19, and he's really good with Dexter and
Yeah,
and yeah. I think I'm not saying for footballers to like go out and get
Get a
these
dog.
dogs. Yeah, if I just get a dog, it'll sort you out. It'll send you on the straight and narrow. But yeah. Where are you going? What have you got on this weekend?
Well, we've got Cardiff on Wednesday, and then we play Brentford on the
When
weekend
do you
as
find
well.
out the squad?
Literally the day before the game,
Yeah.
they'll send like a squad list out and stuff. So
Very good.
but yeah.
All right. Last couple of questions. I know you're very busy. If you were to get another dog, what would you get?
It's tough because before I always I saw the Dobermans like quite appealing, and I felt they were interesting dogs. But then I heard as they get older, they, I don't know, get a bit crazy and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's true or not. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
tell me if not.
Yeah.
But I think I love Amira so much. I would get
Another.
I'd get another Belgian malinois.
Yeah.
I never got to see her as a puppy, which is something that I always say to Theo. Is like,
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of miss that. Like even when I saw Stark as well, I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, he's so cute. Like as
Yeah.
a puppy, like I was really upset that I missed that stage of her life, and building that bond. Like you can see how Stark is with you.
Yeah.
From being with you from a puppy, it's just something different. It's something unique, and I think I just kind of missed out with something like that.
How old was Amira when she got to you? Then when Theo brought her over.
When she came, I think she was about a year when she
okay.
when she first came over.
Yeah. Okay.
I met her maybe 6 months in.
Yeah. Okay.
Theo had her from the puppy as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is difficult.
It was a tough one. It's like every time I see a Belgian Malinois puppy, I'm like, gotta get one of those.
Are you do you get much? Do people ask you much about Amira on your socials and stuff like that? I see kind of when you do any Q&As and stuff like that, there's always a question or two about Amira.
Yeah, I always get
good.
a lot of good reception when it comes to Amira. Everyone always says there's a lot of like I see some Leeds fans out and about sometimes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I see your dog training. She's really well behaved." I'm like,
Yeah.
Sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the fans like to see that stuff and like
Yeah.
to see Amira, and I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe I need to put her out more.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Sure. Took our dogs over the White Rose shopping centre to do some like off-site training, and someone walked past and they were like, "Oh, they trained Jack Harrison's dog." They trained Jack Harrison's dog. So it's great for us, obviously. And you can always see people, well, because we've got your shirt up in the office over there. You see people like looking at it, and then wanting to ask. And I didn't realise how much the people of Leeds adored their football team.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I like when being from Cardiff, like football's quite popular there, and
Yeah.
my family all really like going down to Cardiff City and all the rest of it. I never really got into it, but here it's different, right?
Yeah, it's different. I think even in my first year, I think traveling around the world, I like on the holidays and stuff. I think I went to Bahamas, and I was out in Dubai one time as well. And there's just Leeds fans everywhere.
Crazy.
It's okay, like, can I get a picture? Massive Leeds fan, massive Leeds fan. And they're absolutely everywhere, all over the US. And you know, it all comes back to the center of Leeds as well. Everyone that you meet around this area who's a Leeds fan is so passionate and just love the club so much. And it's a credit really. It's something like that you don't get that often, because Leeds is the only like club in this region. You know, you go to Manchester, you've got Manchester United, Manchester City, and it can be split a little bit.
Yeah.
In Leeds, you've got all the fans are just for Leeds, and they're just all so passionate about it.
Yeah. Everyone seems to hate Leeds, though. Everyone seems to be
Everyone
rivals
else
with
around,
Leeds.
like,
Yeah. I'm like, well, surely Leeds can't have that many rivals. But who's Leeds' one true rival?
Man United. 100%,
okay, all right,
100%.
okay.
I think it always goes back in history, and it just like we're named Dirty Leeds and stuff because it always had players that would foul a lot and just play in like a really rough, like horrible way to play against, and it's just not someone that you wanted to face up. And so just having that reputation has kind of carried through, and everyone just kind of hates Leeds. But everyone from Leeds absolutely loves it.
Yeah. Polarized. Yeah, that's good. Right, I won't keep you too much longer. Thank you so much for giving us your time, Jack. And hopefully we'll have you on again soon. We'll do some videos with Amira. But yeah, thanks a lot.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Are we off to the pub now?
Yeah.
Are you busy? Me and Jack are going to do some activities and stuff. We're going to go to the pub and probably go to the theme park. But yeah, have a good one. Bye.
See you.